Could Edge be on his way to All Elite Wrestling? There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumor about this in recent times, and I'm going to break down exactly why Edge could be and some things we've heard recently, especially with Matt Hardy's recent comments about the issue in just a second. But before I do, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And let's hope to God that the audio here sounds way better than it did just a while ago. So Matt Hardy was talking about Edge and his future. Of course, Edge has said in recent times that he thinks that his time in the ring, his time in WWE at least, is coming to an end, and it's an inevitability at this point. It's just about making the most of the time that he has left to do this. And while, of course, that could be perceived and or portrayed, or that could be taken, I should say, as Edge saying that, I'm going to end my career in WWE, given some of the things and the realities of pro wrestling right now, I don't know if that's the case. Matt Hardy also kind of agrees with me. He says, quote, yeah, I think it would be feasible for him, Edge, to actually have his final match outside of WWE. He would go on to say, I could see him being a guy that was committed to WWE. Like if he says like, this is his last match, I don't think he's gonna do the Ric Flair thing, and wrestle 4 or 5 more. So he also said that, hey, he could also have his final match in WWE. It's gonna be up to him, but he does think that it is feasible for Edge to actually wrestle outside of WWE. And if you ask me, you ask a lot of people out there, company that would make the most sense for him to go to would be All Elite Wrestling. Like I said, realities of the wrestling landscape right now. AEW is competing with WWE. They might not be competing as far as ratings go, but they're 100% competing as far as money. If you want to wrestle a lighter schedule, if you want to make money, if you want to make comparable money to WWE and keep your name out there, keep your name relevant as far as wrestling goes, and create moments. Because remember, pro wrestling is about 2 things: creating moments and making money, both for the company and the wrestlers. So if I'm Edge and I'm thinking about my future, I'm thinking about, my next step. Do I want to retire? Do I think I still have a run in me? I think that's something he's definitely has to take into consideration. The other thing, and this is where we get into talking about making moments, right? The other thing that I don't think people are really looking into as much, or at least haven't recently, is the role of Edge's past in tag team wrestling. More specifically, one of, if not the most storied rivalry in the history of tag team wrestling, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. If you look at those tag teams or the people in those tag teams, 3 out of the 4 of them are where? In AEW. Christian, Matt, and Jeff Hardy. All of them are in AEW. Christian Cage, by the way, wrestling tonight at AEW Double or Nothing in Vegas, where I am. So, gonna have some fun content from there, guys. But anyway, so like Christian Cage is a staple in AEW right now. The Hardys, they're doing their thing in AEW. While right, they're all older. They're not who they were 20 years ago. You're never going to see the TLC matches or the tables matches that they're known for, like to the extent that you would have 20 years ago. Reality is, all of those guys I just mentioned are still top-notch professional wrestlers. Christian Cage in 2021 main evented arguably the biggest and best wrestling show one of the biggest and best wrestling shows outside of WWE of all time in All Out 2021. Edge main evented WrestleMania in 2021. Matt and Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy especially, has been able to evolve his character both in and out of the ring, and be relevant and make sure that everything he does, every movement he does, has a reason for happening, and still has one of the best character developments of anyone. And Jeff Hardy, of course, given his past, given everything that he's gone through, given the controversies and the trials and tribulations he's been through, he's someone who has also said, this might be my final run. but I also have some things to prove. I also have some things that I want to do that are on my list that need to be done before I'm done. If we don't think in 2023 or 2024 that all of these guys are still going to be able to do what they're doing right now, at least mostly what they're doing right now, and it wouldn't be relevant and it wouldn't be good television and it wouldn't be good stories, we're lying to ourselves. We're looking at the most storied tag team rivalry. There we go. That's a word. The most storied tag team rivalry of all time. We're looking at 4 bona fide tag team and individual Hall of Famers. We're looking at 4 of the most intelligent and savvy professional wrestling minds of all time, all of whom bring a very different type of intelligence and a very different type of savviness to the ring, which is only going to make whatever they do better. This is it. If I'm Edge and I want my last moment to be, a tag team run, and I want to go out on anything else that is not winning the world title. That is, of course, I think, like, if Edge has a chance to win the world title, the title that he never lost, way more important. But if that's not in the cards, and you're telling me that it's out there, and I know he's talked about, maybe wanting to do an Edge and Christian reunion, the only way that's possible right now is if he leaves WWE. That's not me, and this is not me saying, he is going to leave WWE, blah, blah, blah. It's just the only way to make any of this possible. Because Matt and Jeff Hardy look like they're signed with AEW for a while. Christian is, again, wrestling for the TNT title tonight as of this recording. So, he's there. Edge's contract apparently runs out soon. Could you see him going? Maybe. And I think it's going to be one of those things, if AEW calls, you have to listen. Because you know damn well they're going to be paying you good money. You're going to be presented as a star. And you're going to have a chance to make one of the biggest moments in wrestling history, the final encounter between the Hardys and Edge and Christian. It'll draw money. It'll be a big moment. You could have an entire show behind it. That's how big of a moment it'll be. If you got a chance to do it, I'd do it. But I want to hear from all of you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that Edge is going to end up in AEW? Is he going to stay in WWE and regain the title that he never lost? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, if you haven't already done so, do me a big time favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, keep it real.